Our last question of this round goes to Mr. Cleo Fields. Do you believe that democracy is not only Louisiana, but in the country, is fading into a two-party system?
Well, I mean, I think the country was pretty much founded on a party system or a two-party system. I mean, we certainly recognize a two-party system, and I certainly respect the two-party system in Louisiana as well as in the country. Yeah, I don't think it's a party issue as much as I feel it's and I think you alluded to it a second ago, Mr. Director, a right and wrong issue. You know, for example, each party have their own philosophies as to what's best and what's right on different issues. But at the end of the day, you know, a baby crying for milk at night is not a Democratic baby or a Republican baby, it's a hungry baby. You need to feed it. You know, that's like a right issue, not a Democratic issue or a Republican issue. And I think all too often in Washington and to some degree here in the state, you know, we get so into party and forget about what's right and what's wrong. I mean, I was born a Democrat and been a very staunch supporter of the Democratic Party, particularly in Washington, D.C., because they actually have an aisle, Democrats on one side, Republicans on the other. So it's real serious there. But the way we viewed it when I was in Congress, you know, whomever win the House, with the big that goes to spoils. Okay, you get the committee chairs, you get the Speaker of the House, done. But at the end of the day, let's move together and move this country forward. Today it's not like that. I mean, you get the, you know, the Republicans are in charge of the House, you know, they take the Speaker and they also take the chairs, and then they say, well, and we're not going to do anything that the Democratic president says. Well, that's crazy, you know. And I think that's the disconnect, not Democrat, Republican. I think the disconnect is right and wrong. And I think we as Democrats, and I'm saying it because we're all Democrats, I would say it to Republicans as well, we should never be unmindful or blind to what's right, you know, even if it's at the expense of our party. We ought not let that baby go to bed at night hungry because a Democrat says, oh, we're just not going to feed this baby today. A man with a pink slip at 5 o'clock is not a Republican or a Democrat, he's unemployed. We ought to provide a job for him. And that's the way I always approached it, in Louisiana and in Washington. You know, there are party issues, and I'm down the line. I remember the Speaker of the House, Tom Foley, the first thing he said, well, the freshmen, there's 40 of us, freshman members of Congress, he said, first thing I want you to understand is never vote against the Speaker on a procedure issue. He said, the second thing I want you to understand is when the Speaker is wrong, never vote against the Speaker on a procedure issue. And he said, the third thing, if you feel like voting against the Speaker, don't vote against the Speaker on a procedure issue. I understand that, and I respected that as a member of Congress. When Speaker Foley, when there was a big fight on procedure issues, Democrats or Republicans, Newt Gingrich wanted to take the chair, wanted to run the order of the day, I was with the Speaker. But if it had something to do with jobs and health care, you know, I'm with what's right. And I think that's missing in Washington, more so in Washington than in Louisiana. Louisiana, we have a governor problem.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Fields. So that closes out our pretty much segment of our questions.